Hi, Jared Dennis here with episode 32 of Success Council. Today we will look at how another exciting free market development is potentially going to make the government redundant on the issue of corporate responsibility. We will also see how the default belief that government is the solution to problems is tragically slowing the development of real solutions. The case study today is over GMO labeling. In episode 12, I spoke about the issues extensively, but let me set the scene quickly. Genetically modified food has been shown in numerous studies to be harmful to your health. At present, companies do not need to label their food if it's genetically modified, and as a result, a hell of a lot do not. Clearly, this is good for GMO behemoth Monsanto and bad for society. The question is, how should we fix it to allow consumers the information needed to make informed choices? As we explained in our last episode, our society has become so government-oriented that a government-run solution is the default answer for all problems, even though government solutions are inherently immoral. They are immoral because all government solutions involve pointing a gun at someone and forcing them to do something they may not want to do. Sadly, the righteous cause of wanting to know what was in your food was seduced by the power of the government. And those who wanted disclosure tried to persuade the government to point their guns at food manufacturers to provide GMO labeling. I know some people are so passionate about this topic and may be seeing red at the moment, so let me explain why it's immoral. We all agree that it is your right not to have your TV stolen from your house, but we also agree that it's immoral to steal your neighbor's money to buy a lock for your front door. Likewise, we all agree it's moral and fair that you should know what's in your food. But it is immoral to make someone else pay for or provide that information. So let's get back to the story. The well-intentioned but misguided individuals of the labeled GMO movement in California created Prop 37, a piece of legislation to force GMO labeling on all food items. After a tsunami of human effort trying to gain support for Prop 37, the activists ran into the very real problem that very wealthy and powerful corporations were already in control of the government guns that the activists wanted to point at the corporations. Huge amounts of corporate money flowed in, and a campaign was launched to thwart Prop 37. The corporations were successful, the activists had wasted millions of man-hours, and Prop 37 was voted down. While I do not advocate the forcing of people to label something at their expense for my benefit, clearly the government is supposed to provide a solution to this problem, right? Of course, it not only did nothing to solve the problem, it made it many times worse. On the 26th of March 2013, buried on the back pages of a spending bill, Obama signed what was later to be called the Monsanto Bill. This piece of legislation, among other things, grants Monsanto and anyone else who deals with GMO complete immunity from specific federal laws. Let me repeat that. Monsanto is now immune from certain federal laws.
The Agricultural Appropriations Bill has been dubbed the Monsanto Protection Act by critics of the agricultural giant. That's because a provision in the law protects genetically modified seed patents from litigation over health risks. So if you get sick, too bad. You can't take it to court.
Can you believe this insanity? And yet advocates of big government claim that we need government to protect us from greedy corporations. The ignorance required to believe this is overwhelming. So how much does it cost to be above the law? The bill was apparently written by freshman Senator Roy Blunt in collusion with Monsanto, with helping them to craft the exact language of the document. The Center for Responsive Politics notes that Senator Blunt received $64,250 from Monsanto to go towards his campaign committee between 2008 and 2012. $64,000. That is how little our health is worth to these politicians. I'm sure Obama and some more high-ranking politicians are more expensive to bribe, but it's shockingly little. So clearly the government offers no service whatsoever protecting taxpayers from corporations, and making them above the law certainly does not promote good corporate citizenship. So what free market solutions are stepping in?
A new app, Boycott, is looking to bring activism to the checkout aisle. You can scan a product with the app, like Dixie cups, to find out who's actually behind that product. Dixie Cups are part of Georgia Pacific, which is a subsidiary of Koch Industries. The Koch brothers are some of the most famous and generous donors to conservative causes. Depending on your politics, that may sway your purchasing decision. You can sign up for campaigns on the app. Demand GMO Labeling starts with a list of all of the companies that donated more than 150 grand to oppose labeling genetically modified food in California. The app will let you know if a product you scan conflicts with the goals of your campaign. Campaigns can encourage you to support or avoid certain products.
This is brand new, but immediately rocketed to the iTunes top 10 download list. At present, the app just has information on what companies are subsidiaries of which other companies. But a logical progression is to include more information about each product, like whether or not it contains GMO. The best feature is the app allows user-created campaigns. The example that is in the clip is that one user listed all companies that donated over $150,000 to squash Prop 37. Each user who signs up to that campaign will be told if the product they scan is owned by one of those companies. This allows users to vote with their dollars at checkout. Just where could this go? Perhaps one day a supermarket chain, noticing many of their customers are participating in a particular campaign, decide to place a little icon on each product noting that this company has violated that campaign, saving the shoppers the need to check out each product. Perhaps the supermarket will advertise this fact, trying to improve its reputation as a good corporate citizen and gain market share. Perhaps eventually a grocery chain will simply not stock products by companies that violate a popular campaign. If the market support for such a chain is there, then it is in fact inevitable. There is an interesting side story to this, though. While millions of misplaced man-hours went into drafting Prop 37, begging people to go and vote and raising awareness on the issue, one man who did not believe in trying to point guns at others spent his spare time creating this app. Hopefully, the app becomes a mega hit with millions of downloads, and the creator becomes fabulously wealthy selling advertising in his app. Just imagine if those millions of misplaced man-hours were spent promoting this app, encouraging others to use it, encouraging grocery stores to use little icons on price tags to save the consumer the trouble of scanning each product. Just think of the millions of dollars that would have been cut from corporate profits as punishment for not thinking of the public's health first and foremost. Think of the message this would send to all corporations not behaving in the public's interest. Next time you see a problem in society and you want to fix it, instead of asking yourself, how can I convince politicians to point guns at people to make them behave the way I want them to, ask yourself, how can I provide value to the community so that others who share my thoughts can vote with their dollars and starve dishonorable companies from their profits? If you do that, you may just end up very rich, which I would love to see, like our friend who created Boycott. Next time, we will look at how the free market is solving the issue for the Second Amendment under attack. See you then.